Hi, my name is Kyle Patterson, and this school year I am serving on the IEA Student Program State Board as political activist. On the general election ballot in November, the state of Illinois will have a ballot measure that is a new proposed constitutional amendment that has been proposed by the state of Illinois. This proposal, in short, would require that in order for any increase in retirement benefits for public employees by the state or local governments or school boards, the state legislature would require a 3/5 vote instead of a simple majority. Unfortunately, this issue is much more complicated than it seems, so I'm going to attempt to articulate the IEA stance as well as bring more clarity to this issue for you. To give you a brief background on this situation, it's important to explain that our pension system is ran in a fashion in which funding is shared by the state, the local government or school board, and the employee. The state pension is in crisis because the state has not paid their fair share for nearly 30 years and the system is running out of money at an alarming rate. This is no fault to local governments or employees, and the state is solely to blame for this crisis. As part of pension reform to correct this situation, the state has created a new system known as Tier 2 that all new employees hired after January 1st, 2011 fall into, which includes all current future teachers like yourself. Tier 2 is a retirement system in which it has reduced benefits and has raised the retirement age in Illinois for all new hires to the highest in the nation at the age of 67. Now, back to the proposed constitutional amendment on the ballot. The IEA opposes this amendment and is urging our members to vote no on this ballot measure. This measure is undemocratic. It ignores the fundamental principles of democracy that allows the majority to make decisions and instead allows a defiant minority to decide the fate of the majority. This is simply not democracy by any definition. The IEA also opposes this new amendment because it will hurt local governments and school districts who have been fiscally responsible and have paid their bills, unlike the state. This can hurt the hiring power of many local school districts and municipal governments. Also, if this measure passes, it will end almost all hope of lowering the retirement age in Illinois for members of Tier 2, which include all of you. This measure is another example of the state of Illinois being unable to address the pension crisis in a reasonable manner. So instead, the legislature makes efforts such as this one to appear to be addressing the issue when in actuality they're not fixing anything. Because of the state of Illinois' neglect, our pension system is underfunded, and no one in the state legislature has proposed increasing retirement benefits, which makes this measure seem extremely bizarre. Many have questioned whether this measure is simply a political trick to undermine another existing amendment, our state constitution, that forbids lowering any retirement benefits for existing employees. That current amendment was made on the ancient principle that a deal is a deal, and that the state cannot go back on its promises. The state has been seeking ways to undermine that agreement, and this theory is backed up by the unusual length and confusing language of the new proposed amendment. It has been noted that there are more words in the new proposed amendment itself than in the entire first 10 amendments of the United States Constitution combined, which are some of the most important laws in our nation's history. In fact, the new proposed amendment is so long that voters will not even get to read its full details on the ballot and will have to reference a pamphlet that has been attempted to be mailed to all voters that shows the full language of the proposed amendment. Essentially, many voters will not even know the true language of the measure that they are voting on if they did not receive this mailer. This new proposed amendment is illogical, unfair, most likely political trickery, and simply undemocratic. So the IEA and myself urge you to please vote no on the Constitutional Amendment 49 on the November 6th ballot. Thanks a lot for listening, and I hope you guys all go out and vote.